Speaking of board members, are there any announcements any of the board members would like to make? I was looking for Kathy for a specific um, kind of uh, invitation for anyone who wants to jump into the subcommittee to help us with our 30th anniversary event. Margot had something in the newsletter about it. So just wanted to kind of keep that fresh on people's minds that we need support in that area. But is there anybody else that wants to make a board announcement during this beginning of this call? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this is not a WiVLA official thing, but the edible book exhibit is coming up, and Leah Steiner knows much more about it than I do. She's better at telling about it.
Got it right here.
Yes.
What I need to do is I wanted to remember tonight to find out who to send for the newsletter, or how do you want me to give you the information for the Edible Book Festival? Because we have a flyer that lists everything. And then we also have an event page on the Houston Book Arts Guild Facebook page. We have an event set up for it where I copied all of this information again. So do you want me to send it somewhere for the,
you can send it to, you can email all that stuff to me.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, we've been emailing about, Lee is going to be our first Pearls of WiVLA person.
I got it right here. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's got pearls for her photo shoot. I am so excited.
So what, you gave her pearls?
Oh, these are actually Mardi Gras pearls that I had for a couple of years, and I'm going to dig out the nice pearls too. But she wants a photo op of,
I thought that would be fun
pearls
for the women who contribute Pearls of WiVLA to do a photo shoot with wearing pearls.
Yeah.
Or I can always sort of Photoshop in pearls if you don't have any, but.
Yeah, maybe there's a filter for that. We can all be wearing pearls on Zoom. I don't know. Yeah, and I am well-known in WiVLA for being I am a born in know-it-all and do-it-yourselfer. So Margot, I may not be able to keep to the word limit. 100 words. Okay. No, I can do it.
No, 150 is fine.
Do I hear two?
No.
I'm teasing.
We have ways of making it shorter.
All right. So until I get the excuse me, I'm getting all choked up. Edible Book Festival information to Margot.
Yeah, by the end of this week, please.
All right. You can go if you're on Facebook. Look for the group Houston Book Arts, and that is Houston Book Arts Guild, and that's where we have some information, pictures of previous entries, and you can click on the event to see everything there too. It's going to be Saturday, March 30th.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I would rather have that more condensed and sent to me. It's to look for stuff.
And you can put something on our calendar, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my email is the where you would email your entry, your name, your entry's name, and all of that. So I don't mind my email going out there for more information too, because people who haven't been to one of our events before don't know what it is. And you can also easily Google edible book festivals or books to eat and see all over the world what people have done in the past. So speaking as a previous winner, and we have several people in WiVLA who were there the very first year, and now here it's been many, many years, and we'd like to have some WiVLA people in it too. So.
Awesome. I want to see, Ellen, I'm putting you on the spot. Do you want to say anything about submitting work for the Writers Guild, WiVLA? You or Rebecca?
Yes, March 8th is the deadline for submitting for the anthology contest, Journey into Time. And you can go either to our calendar, or you can go to the Houston Writers Guild website and get to the specifics. There is a cost to enter. You can enter twice, 3,000 to 7,000 words. And it just has to have time in there somewhere. So that's for the anthology contest. Again, it's going to be announced in October at the beginning of the authorology conference that they have every year. So a good time is had by all.
Hey, Ellen, wait a second. Our calendar has April 8th. It's March
I'm
8th.
sorry. Okay, April 8th. Okay.
April 8th.
I'm caught off the spot. I don't have my notes in front of me, so I'm
Okay.
winging it up. Thank you, Melody, for having notes in front of you.
Yeah, I was having a panic attack.
It's like, sure, it's due tomorrow. Whip it right out. Thank you so much, Melody. Like I said, I didn't have my notes in front of me, as I should have, Brooke, and I'll be more prepared next time. The next thing we have for literary is in April, and Gladys Bullock can tell us the date of the poetry reading that will take place, our annual Poetry by the Bay poetry reading in LaPorte. I always want to say
Yes.
that, but it's really LaPorte.
It's going to be April the 20th from 11 to 1 at the LaPorte Library. And I think I forwarded an electronic flyer to you, and so y'all have the information so we can post it, whatever in the calendar. And it's usually a fun event. They usually provide plenty of snacks, coffee, tea. They just really do a lot to make us feel welcome, and that they're happy that we are there.
It is on the calendar, Gladys May.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the only other announcement I think I have, unless Brooke or Rebecca check me on this, is in November. We have our annual literary meeting where everybody writes, and it's not 3,000 to 7,000 words, but it's more like within 5 minutes. And Margot has a stop sign that she will bring and tell you to stop and when the time is up. But the theme for that is getting folded into our 30th anniversary special events. So the theme is Pearl.
Oh,
I know, I love that theme. There's so much you can do with that. And also, yes, I do have one more thing. There's Pearl in November, 3 to 5 minutes, part of the 30th anniversary celebration. And then, of course, once again, in November, we will have the Haunted Holidays reading at Brazos
Brazos.
Bookstore, and that will be like 6 to 8:30 in the evening. They close at 6 and then we start up. So writers, poets, get your pens out, get your computers out, get to writing. And if you want to combine pearls and haunted holidays, go for it. But have fun with it. And I look forward to seeing what everybody submits and hearing everybody's reading. So did I miss anything, Rebecca?
I don't think so. I think you got it all.
Thank you. Back to you, Brooke.
Awesome, Ellen. Shirley or Marie, would you like to pitch anything on the visual side while you have the mic?
Marie?
Sure. We decided on the theme for the collaboration, and it will be entangled. And there will be news going out. There will be 2 events for meet and match. They will both be at Sawyer Yards. One will be in First Industrials on the 3rd of March, which is a Sunday. And the second one will be March 23rd, which is a Saturday, and that one will be at Winter Street Studios.
Do you have a time on that?
2 p.m. on both. So one will be on a Sunday and the other one will be on a Saturday.
I think Entangled, excuse me, Entangled is very exciting because it just brings up so many possibilities.
Oh,
Mhm.
and Tangled, that's.
Tangled.
You could even combine Pearl, Entangled, and Haunted Holidays.
Your
Then
jewelry
choke-
box.
choke on your
My jewelry
pearls.
box, yeah.
We're
I'll
all
shut up
clutching our
now.
pearls, clutching our clustered, tangled pearls. Anything else?
That's what we have now, and news will be going out so that everybody knows exactly where to join us.
Beautiful. All right, look at that, 6:19. Always trying to stay on target.
Good.
Oh, and we have secured Sabine Street Studios for our event. And I have heard back from the directors about our desire to have our opening on the 13th, and actually I need to forward it to you guys on the board so that you can help me decide the date of the opening, because they've given us some options.
Fabulous. All right, I'm putting down the mic. I don't know who's picking it up, but let's maybe Eugene.
You're mute.
There we go. Okay. So, intro to Maya Arnold, and the name is pronounced Maya. I thought at least that takes me a while. When I look at it, I can say it when I don't look at it. She is the owner, operator, chief person at Grackle and Grackle. They do writing workshops. We did a workshop there in the fall. Was it in the fall? In the winter, or well, sometime in the past, that were making journals, which was really wonderful. Corey's here, isn't she? I saw her a minute ago. Anyway, Corey Austin was the one who led that workshop, and the location is absolutely incredible. And Maya is pretty much of a powerhouse. I looked over her background and was going, oh my gosh, you know. So I am looking forward to hearing her myself, and she's here.
Well, I do like to be called a powerhouse every now and again. So thank you. I certainly don't feel like one all the time, or ever. But you know, like the great thing about organizations like WiVLA or like Grackle and Grackle is that when you get around a lot of other people who are interested in art and producing things and creating worlds, you know, we feed into each other's powerhouses, right? Like we make each other powerful. And that's, you know, the big reason, that's one of the big reasons that I love having an organization. I don't know if you know what Grackle and Grackle is. We run creative writing workshops in the Houston Heights. We actually are, my studio, I can't go back there because there's a class in there right now. But the studio is in Dorothy Hood's old studio. So it's where she used to make, those of you who are the visual artists, she used to make those giant paintings. There's a couple hanging in the, you know, in the library at Rice and around, and she had that big retrospective. But when we were looking for houses, I knew that I wanted to have a creative writing studio. My story is going to be convoluted, but I think that that's the most fun kind of story. So we were looking for I was looking for a place where I could teach, because I had left academia, and I'll get there in a minute. And I wanted it, I could see from other organizations that the hardest part of running a writing studio or any studio was paying for studio space. So I really wanted to lived had a studio space of some sort. And it would be a garage apartment or something like that, because that just seemed like the likeliest thing in Houston, a little mother-in-law apartment. But what, you know, we were eventually shown this house, and we walked into this studio, and it felt like someone had already made it ready for art, right? Like I just felt like, oh, wait a minute, like somebody, this has already been created. This space is consecrated somehow. And I didn't know, I didn't realize that it had been an art studio. It was Dorothy Hood's art studio. And in fact, if you ever take a class at the Grackle, you can open up the doors to the doors in the back, messy. But if you look on the ground in them, it's still, you know, the floor, all the paint splatter, and it has all, you know, it was her studio floor. It was recovered by the people between us with, you know, most of the floor by fake wood, but if you open the closet, it's still that Dorothy Hood original, and it's really beautiful. Anyway, so it's a beautiful space here. I teach our writing workshops are, you know, we teach all kinds of workshops. We teach poetry, we teach fiction, and we teach memoir. We teach it. The class Margot often is in is the songwriting class with Lucas. Yeah, and we teach she also liked the classes by Brendan Bork Shield, which was often like the you know, if you've heard the Moth Story Hour, we had a class where you kind of practice getting a story ready for the Moth for reading. I'm trying to get that one going again, but Brendan he's a playwright, and he's getting very popular, so that doesn't always work out for me with teachers. And we have a journaling class. In fact, let me just I'll show you my little website here as long as I have it, so you can get an idea of it before I kind of back up and tell you how I got here. So I'll share the, oh wait a minute, I have the wrong page. Just a minute, I have the Zoom. Let me get the right one up. Here we go. Okay, come back here, share there. Okay. So this is my website. I just put some things up because right now I happen to be repopulating it. All the other classes just got full, and I'm just repopulating it. But have the next songwriting class here, songwriting for dilettantes, which is, you know, you don't have to know how to play a musical instrument even. You have to know a little bit about music, but mostly he teaches you to write a song and put it to music and to sing it in a group of people, and he records it, and then you have a recording. It's super cool. It's a very unusual class because he's kind of an unusual kind of guy. So yeah, so I have this little thing on the website. That's Lucas's class. That's in studio. I don't have my other in studio classes up right now. But you can see that this was like a weekend workshop where they just wrote love poems right before Valentine's Day. Or this was a workshop, the long project, that's going to be online next round. You know, that's people who are in the middle of writing a novel, and they just want a class where they can turn in 100 pages, but they're not done with their novels yet. But they in 5 pages, which is what a lot of workshops are. And then this is the class I always teach, which will be down here again. So this is the new version of the variation in prose. It's going to be online because I have to be out of town next semester because my dad is going to get a new kidney. But that's the class I've taught. This is my original class. Variations in Prose is the class that kind of started Grackle. So now I'll move back a little bit. And then I'll come back here in a minute. Oh, wait, actually, I'll go back here in a minute. But this is the journaling class, which is a really fun class. If you kind of like writing, but you don't write a lot, and you kind of wonder what you want to write, and you kind of want to experiment, these journaling classes, you just go in and you write. It's like 3 or 4 prompts, and you don't have to bring in anything. There's no workshopping. It's just creating. They're very fun. And then this drawing stories class was really fun for those of you who are artists. Have any of you ever read like graphic novels? You know, like you know, like they're comic books, but they're kind of literary stories. So this woman was teaching, you know, that kind of writing in this class. It's going on right now, actually. And then the long project, this is the finished book. That's what I'm teaching this spring. People are bringing in their whole novels. And we're going to workshop the whole novel. But I'm going to go back here to variations in prose. I'm going to unshare this because you don't have to look right here for now. And I'm going to tell the story of Grackle and Grackle. Sorry, I forgot how to stop sharing. Oh yeah, push stop share. Okay. All right. So, when I was 8 or 9 years old or 10 years old, I decided that what I wanted to be when I grew up, what I wanted from life was to have a whole bunch of spices in jars that were not the same jar. They had to be all different, like mason jars and all kind of things. And I wanted to be like a creative writing teacher that I knew. And it was a really good goal to set because it was easier than, like, you know, lifting a mountain up or something like that. And it was something I always had in my head. And I didn't know when I graduated college that they were like MFA programs. I kind of came across them on accident. And I ended up in Houston, coming to the creative writing program at the University of Houston. And when I got there, I really enjoyed all of the creative writing, and I knew that that it was the right kind of, that I wanted to be a creative writing teacher. And I went onto the academic market. I had my thesis published. I had the book that I wrote during the creative writing program was published. It's called Sweet Land of Bigamy. It's this story that's about a woman who sort of accidentally marries 2 men. She marries her first husband and she thinks that she's going to divorce him while he's away, or that he's away, and she marries this other guy and she thinks when he comes back she'll just divorce him quickly. Nobody will ever know the difference. But you know, like that never happens. So it's kind of a dark comedy. I'm from, so it's set in Utah. It's fun. It's kind of a funny thing. So I wrote that novel, and I went on the academic job market, and I got a job in Milledgeville, Georgia, and at the same school that Flannery O'Connor taught in. I don't know if you know Flannery. I mean, of course you know Flannery O'Connor. Everyone knows. So like a good man is hard to find author, and she you know, she wrote these stories about the state of racism and race relations in the United States in the 50s. And it hadn't changed very much when I was there. And I have a mixed race family. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to stay in rural Georgia for very long. Because I was afraid of my son kind of growing up, not, you know, having like racial self-hatred because of the way that Milledgeville was. You know, people still played like the General Lee song on their horns when they went through. They paid, one of the reasons that one of the fraternities picked out was when I was there, the years I was there, was they tried to pay some local kids to pretend to pick cotton at their parties. Like, it was just outrageous, like stuff that you would only read in a novel from the 50s. So I very quickly realized that I wasn't destined for there. But in academia, when you make a change like that, like the world's not set up for that. But what I also realized when I was teaching in college was how much I missed people being from every single part of society, right? Like, I missed people who were older than 20, right? Like, I missed people who were, I just liked having a crazy, I love right now in my classes, and I've always loved having people who were from the ages of 18 to 108, right? Like, it makes me feel better. And it makes my life better. And so I knew I missed that. So when I came back from Milledgeville to Houston, luckily I had my husband, he works he kept his job. And so we came back here after that year, and I started Grackle. And my first class was variations in prose. So variations in prose. So I had taught a lot of creative writing workshops. I had taught at WITS, writers in the schools. I had taught for imprint a lot. I had taught in kind of like random residencies. And I knew that I liked community writing. And so variations in prose was my first class. And I just made it this class where any kind of prose that you write, if it's a play or it's fiction or it's nonfiction, you could just come in on Wednesday morning and bring like a piece of it, and we will all talk about it. And then we'll all do a lot of writing. We'll do some outside reading, and we'll all do a lot of writing. And then we kind of share what we write in class, and then we'd workshop one person's piece of work. And it immediately became, some of the people from that first class was in 2016, right? Yeah, in 2000, first variation prose. They're still there. They've come for like 3 classes every year since 2014. They come in and out. They're not in every single class, but they weave in and out over time. And what is wonderful about being a writing teacher, about having a space like this, is watching people's lives, right? Like watching people get wiser, watching people retell their stories. You come in with one version of your story at a certain point in your life, and then something happens to you, and suddenly you see your whole life differently, and what you thought was one story with a really specific ending, it opens up for you again. And that is something that not a lot of people get to see. Maybe therapists get to see that, but I think writing teachers get to see that. And so it's been something that I have really felt lucky about. I feel really lucky because it's like one of those jobs that where people, it changes people just to be there. So with that said, I've just been jabbering away without anything. I want us to do a little tiny thing. I want us to do a tiny little creative writing thing. We're going to do 2 of them today. We're going to end with one, but we're going to begin with this one, but I started talking. So this one is going to be, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share my screen. And this was just an off thing that I came up with this week. Oh yeah, I have to get to the right screen here, sensory words. It seems really simple, which is why I thought it would be a nice one to start with because it's not overwhelming. So I'm gonna guess that this happens in all of the, I want to make this bigger so I can see more of you, just a minute. I like to see as many people as possible. Okay, so am I covering you with my thing? Can you see, am I covering the screen? You can see, okay, good. So, so one of the things in writing classes and in the writing world that happens is that in kindergarten, in the very first creative writing class, your teacher tells you that you need to write with the 5 senses, right? It's like the first rule, right? Oh, you got to write with the 5 senses. And then every kind of writer, whether or not they are a super famous novelist, or they're a newspaper writer, or they're, technical writer, we all forget it because it's the first thing you, and the thing that makes all writing immediately better, right? So this is the list that I just got out one day because I just wanted, I had read somebody's work and I thought, oh, you need to return to your 5 senses, that's going to help you in your work. So what I want you all to do with this list, just so I can hear the different voices who are here, I want you all to find a word from this list that describes how you're feeling today. Or even not just how you're feeling, just how your day's been. That describes your day. What's a good word for you? Everyone kind of look at that. And now I want you to write, once you find your word, I want you to write just a simple sentence like, I'm shivery today because, and then just give me like 2 sentences why you're shivery, just enough. You don't have to give me more than 2 sentences, just 2 sentences about why shivery is the word for you. Let's say no more than 5 sentences. I can't stop you at 2. Let's say no more than 5 sentences, at least 2. The other day, one of my students was feeling powdery because she had just gotten back from traveling, and find the one that's right for you. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. Okay. So this is the exciting part. This is the part where I like to share. I hate to hear my voice endlessly. So we're going to go around and everyone is going to read their sentences. We're just going to go around and I'm just going to, I wish that there was a way that the one thing that Zoom doesn't let you do is kind of point at someone. So I'm just going to say your names and you can just share. That way we can hear each other's names. And you guys probably know who each other are more than I am. But I find this to be a really nice way of checking in with each other. So we'll start with Melody.
I feel like I'm back in grade school where I'm like trying to look away.
Sorry.
So that's okay. Since I'm not a writer, I'm glad to go before my writing friends because yeah. So I'm dim today. Yesterday was crazy busy, starting with an early meetup at LaSalle and a trip to Lee College in Baytown. After returning home, I had a breakthrough with InDesign and worked on an exhibition catalog until 10 p.m., which is my self-imposed bedtime. I still have more to accomplish today, but my brainstorms have subsided and my idea light bulb is waning.
Well, I think that was pretty smart.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Okay, Jean. People
Okay.
can take off. You can, unless you have a jackhammer, you're welcome to take off your little things because I think people like to hear us go like, wow, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've
Can
had
we see people?
Yeah.
Oh, can you not see people?
No.
No.
Oh,
we're
I
just
didn't
seeing
share. So I
the
didn't stop
list.
sharing.
Yeah, we're just seeing your page.
Okay, thank you. Let me stop sharing.
So
There we go.
Okay, you ready?
And maybe I'll remove the spotlight from me for just now.
There we go.
Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I've had a very feverish day today. Waking up later than I meant to, I rushed through my morning gruel, fed the cats, grabbed my mosaic bag, jumped in the car, and hurried over to Sally's. I wasn't the last to arrive, but I certainly wasn't the first. Time flew by as I sorted tiles by color and shape and then whacked them with my wheeled nippers into tiny pieces to fit my colleagues' needs. Suddenly realizing the time, I jumped in the car once again for a mad dash to home to meet Madeline. It was feverish.
Yay, that was great.
Thank you, thank you.
Feverish. It does sound feverish. Thank you. Margot.
Okay, I'm feeling gaudy. I'm feeling gaudy because I carried my massive purse and my laptop and my cane/seat combination with me today. These items have been schlepped in and out of 4 Lyft autos today. I have traveled to 2 auto repair shops, a cafe, a library, and back home. I would have enjoyed longer trips in those clean, fragrant cars that I could savor. It's frustrating to throw those bags into vehicles for such short trips.
Yay, Gotti. Rebecca. We can do this. This is like the literary thing. You can do this. We can just kind of sparkle for
Snap, snap, snap.
people. Yeah.
Okay, I am unripe today. I need time to sit with my pain before it will let me go and I can grow soft and sweet. And that was actually all I wrote. I realized
That's beautiful. Yeah, you don't have to go long.
but I there.
Susan.
Well, Jean, I chose the same word you chose. Feverish.
Nice.
Frantic, pulled in so many directions, so many things still left to do. My pace is rather feverish, hot and sweaty. Keep going no matter what. Burning up. Need to stop and get under the covers and sweat it out.
Ah.
Hey.
Hey,
Oh, I think I chose a gingerly. I'm feeling gingerly today because I'm tentative about how I'm feeling. A winter cold has started, and even getting out of bed this morning, I felt gingerly. My day has been slower, my actions heavy, my thoughts muddled, as my hearing is muffled.
Shirley.
Okay, I'm not a writer. Just keep that in mind. My word is springy. I'm springy today because the weather is great. I spent 4.5 hours on the golf course enjoying the sights, sounds, and the spiritual quiet of the game. While it is not yet spring, springy seems to envelop me in a mild, warm enclosure of green grass, white sand, and blue sky. My steps were springy. My mood was springy. Almost spring. E. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, G Bullock, is that Grace? I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Hear
No,
you.
it's Gladys May.
Oh, you're muted.
Unmute.
You're muted. Gladys. Yeah.
I thought y'all heard me earlier because I said something about anyways, I said cold, I said cold, not from the temperature, but the need to feel the energy of finally doing it again, doing a workshop from contacting the caterers to going to the library with help with my PowerPoint, to me wanting to just knock my presentation out the ballpark. I feel cold today. I'm looking out of the sunlight that I can't go and play. I can't do the things that I write about and I talk about. It's go and walk today. Boy, how I feel so cold being trapped inside of this room.
Yay.
Okay, Christine.
Blurry, bleary. Bleary, I end this day, so tired from caring for beautiful JJ. Bleary feels my body, my muscles, bleary. Can I sleep yet? Bleary.
Oh,
Larry.
Blaine.
I'm blurred today because I'm floating from one task to another haphazardly. I made chicken salad for dinner like I said I would, but then I baked a lemon cake on the spur of the moment. I indulged my usual word games on the computer. Then I unexpectedly started researching the primary election candidates. I'm just all over the place.
Yay.
Lee.
Oh, I'm zesty. I'm feeling zesty because I've rolled around working on many projects today, but I've still barely scratched the surface. I want to sprinkle myself around my studio and finish off something. Then I want to curl up on a bed as soft as spinach and read a book.
Nelda.
My word is glittering. I'm glittering today because I'm a great grandmother as of yesterday.
Ooh,
Congratulations.
Glittering is an awesome word to describe the deep and beautiful experience of this full mind and body. It's visceral. I put in words on the side, so I kind of got messed up there. Anyway, it's just something I didn't consider because my granddaughters said they weren't going to have children.
Oh.
This one, I didn't know that this one had changed her mind till a few months ago, but it's just really miraculous for your lineage to go, for me, for the lineage to go on. It's really glittering.
Patty.
Is great.
I'm going really fast. I'm determined to hear from everybody. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm also not a writer. My word is gritty. And it's because my son Josh and I went over to the storage unit to pick up a few more boxes. The ultimate goal is to one day no longer require their services. So as we pulled the boxes down, he pointed out that there seems to be rat pee on the box. And so it was like, oh, gritty.
Yes. Very good.
I'm not washing it. It's going in the trash.
Okay, Marie.
Mine is minimalist.
Okay.
I am feeling prickly and hot today because I had cupping done on my back, followed by an acupuncture session. It feels great when the cups and the needles are removed.
When?
Okay, I did bleary. Today I'm feeling bleary and busy, my mind full of to-do lists with too many words to think about now at the end of the day as I wait for starlight and a night of dreams.
Oh, nice.
That was beautiful. Crystal.
Hi. So I wrote this, but I'm not sure the order of it. So I'm just going to read it as I think it makes sense right now. I was surprised by the morning fog, but I wanted a dream last night. I was actually surprised that I got one, and just maybe I'd be able to speak in it this time. Would I? Did I? I'm not sure I'll ever know. But one thing's for certain, I woke up hazy. Hazy was my word, by the way. Dream fragments crashing in through the morning light, fascinated by some and inspired by others, always questioning. I woke up with a forgetting fragment of a dream on the tip of my tongue. I spent all day hoping the haze would clear in the way the morning fog does, but today there was no avail.
Oh, sorry, the wizard liked it. Ellen.
Okay, blurred was the word. I wake up with my focus blurred. Throughout the day, all became coarse and then powdery. Thoughts blew away. Cleaning my glasses does not equate with cleaning of the mind. I continue to search for thoughts, ideas, and grounding.
Wow, nice.
June.
Okay. I'm feeling tasteless today, as in I can't taste things. I can't seem to tune in to one particular thing. Everything is mixed and therefore bland. My voice is in murmur mode, not strong or defined. My affect, I would say, is smudged.
Wow, very nice.
Donna. Oh, you're muted.
Moist. Okay. I participated in a kick-ass water aerobics class this morning. Wearing my new suit from Costco. It fits mostly. At $16, I figure I must go back and buy at least 2 more.
Really?
Happy.
I've done that. I've gone back and bought bathing suits when they fit.
That's so important.
Yeah. My word is flavorful. Today was a flavorful day, though not all delicious flavors. Some sweet, some energizing, being outside. Later, anxiety provoking. In fact, writing about the day when the last call before this meeting was not what I wanted to hear has me discombobulated.
That's a good word. That's a good word too.
MJ.
Today was bright and sunny. At least that's what the Weather Channel said. But everything looks smudgy to me. Was it the sleep in my eyes? Was it the steam from the teapot? The hair in my eyes? Did I need to clean my glasses? How to see through the smudges? Or was it the tears in my eyes?
Wow.
So that's a good one.
Thank you for sharing. Rosario.
Let's see.
Oh,
So, yeah, sorry, I got here late. I didn't do it. Sorry, but I
Oh,
love
that's
the
okay.
simplicity. It was wonderful. I love to read, so I love to listen. It was
Oh,
very
good.
wow.
Thank you. Deidre.
Deidre. I feel feverishly fuzzy. The day has been an emotional roller coaster. Highs and disappointments, sandwiched between moments of utter banal chores and tasks that seem important today, but no one will remember in a year.
True. Very true.
Brooke.
I'm prickly today, facilitating writing with sick kids in a hospital, pushing upwards to boost their energy enough to help them express something on the page, then rushing to an elementary school for an after-school writing club for second and third graders, collecting their vibrant molecules, gathering them from bouncing off the walls to focused, channeling thoughts and feelings through the points of pencils and markers on the page. I can feel the edges of my own molecules. They're quite prickly.
Wow.
Mildred.
So I came in a little late. But anyway, I think I get the gist. Sometimes looking at the news can make you just feel all kinds of crazy ways. So I did Twisted. So I grabbed a poem when I heard everybody doing their thing. Ice cubes clinking. So my word is twisted. Ice cubes clinking, red eyes winking, foul breath stinking. You can't see what a fucker you're being. Little girls running, tight body stunning, firm legs pumping, new breasts jumping. Her eyes miss what the lecturer is seeing. With talon so swift, a skirt he lifts, savagely defiling her sweetest gift. The vulture creeps, the young girl weeps. She breathes her last breath, he slithers away.
Yeah, that's what's going on at least.
And you don't live in Houston, Mildred. You
but I live in Atlanta.
yeah, well, I mean, there's been some horrible news.
I thought that she saw the Houston news with the 11-year-old girl who's
right. Yeah.
I'm thinking
you see the same thing here.
So I think that I got everybody. Is that true?
Corey.
You did.
Oh, Corey. There you are, Corey. Let's get you.
Oh, Corey, good.
I chose prickly as well. Math with my fourth graders today was a prickly affair. Place value from the 10,000s place to the 100,000s place. Were we multiplying by 10 or dividing by 10? I could feel their not knowing anxieties poking holes in their confidence. And I didn't have enough of the right kind of hands-on practice to make it concrete and understandable.
Oh, wow. Very good.
Wait, you're on.
You have to go. Sorry, you have to go. Sorry, my daughter has come home and she is the light of my dog's life. So he keeps on barking. So I'm like, you got to stop.
I'd like to share a thought for everybody whose day was in the not so great range. Here's to tomorrow.
Right?
Yes. Tomorrow is another day.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like we're all busy.
I love having a really easy check-in like this with people because I just think that it helps us see just how different we're all feeling and how just the variations, and we can all kind of feel how other people, even if I was having a bad day, I recognize the glittering days and I recognize the blurry, you can recognize yourselves in other days. So I like doing this. And as I was saying that, the thing for me that's important, like I didn't talk about the philosophy of Grackle, which is to ensure that everybody who wants to be able to write can write. So a thing, I showed you my website and you probably saw different prices. The thing about my classes is that if you don't have the money to take a class, you just have to email me and tell me how much you could pay, right? Like, because there's, like I said, if you have people who are at different stages of life, sometimes people are making, you know, $500,000 a year, and that's no problem. And sometimes people are just graduated from college and they have about $3. And sometimes, you know, we just all we're all at our different moments. Sometimes we have a good year and then a bad year. So I recognize that, and I think that that's one of the reasons that my classes are really interesting, is because, like I said, I have a diversity of ages. I have a diversity of, you know, economic backgrounds. I have, you know, one of the things that I do in my classes, and that I make sure all the teachers do, is when we share work from around the world and from around the different communities within the country of, you know, of the US. We try to make sure that we are reflecting everyone, and that the people we can't reflect are from, you know, like, it's really interesting to read, for example, just a short story written by a Vietnamese American, let's say, versus a short story written by somebody from Vietnam, right? Like, they're not the same, you know. People kind of think, people imagine that they will be, but people have really different focuses depending on where they are. And it's one of my favorite things about teaching is choosing the reading each week and making sure that the reading is something that we haven't read before. You know, like I told you, I've been teaching one class for, I guess it's 10 years now, 3 times a year with a lot of the same people. So I can't teach the same thing twice. And so that has really, that's really made it so that I've got to read the whole world. Like, it really has, you know, like we know that we want to be diverse, but it really helps you to be on your toes when you want to read everything. You know what you're missing, you know, in this kind of situation. Our classes are, half of our classes are online and half of our classes are in the studio. So the Zoom classes are like this. Oh, good. I hope that you're enjoying it. So I wanted to say one more thing about myself, and we're all gonna, how I go until 7:30. Is that correct?
Well,
or 7:40? I can't remember.
7:30.
7:30. Yeah. Okay, good. Because I have one more writing that we have to do, and it's for the artists. It's for you artists, so don't get worried. This is just for you. And we're not going to share it. We're just going to start it, and you'll just have to share one line, okay? So anyway, you can tell I'm a writing teacher because I just like, if I have to choose something. But so one thing at Grackle is that I do everything on my own, right? Like, I'm the accountant. So I'm not a nonprofit, because I have attention deficit disorder, and there are different kinds of people with attention deficit disorder. They're the kind who are always getting lost and they can't do anything. I'm the kind who just has like 80 balls in the air. Like, and I don't even know how to let someone have one. You know, like, I just don't. Like I'm afraid of looking away. So with that said, at Grackle, I am the accountant. Actually, now I have a lady who helps me with accounting, but I have to get the bookkeeping to give to the accountant, right? And I am the person who cleans up the studio and vacuums and cleans all the dishes. And I am the person who finds the teachers, and I'm the person who teaches, and I am the person who takes the classes. I try to take at least two classes a year, so that I can be part of the community, right? That you can't be part of the community if you're only leading. You have to also be listening, right? So I take the classes, I teach the classes, and then I do the website. You know, I have to send all the things to the website, and then I have to do all the money things, like it is just incredible. It's like a lot of these different things. And I like it because it's not a boring life, right? Because I'm not doing the same thing all the time. And I feel lucky that I can do it, because, you know, when I started it, my husband had a job where he has insurance. So, so I got to try something, right? Not a lot of people don't get that chance. And I was really lucky that I got the chance that I could try to start something, and take the risk. And for me, it's really been worth it because of the people that I knew. One of the other things that I want to share the website one more time. I know it's kind of boring just to see a website, but I'm going to do one more thing to get to the right page again, to my Grackle and Grackle page. Actually, I'll just share this other page. I'm going to share the core design page. So come back to Zoom. I'm not totally. Where do I put share, and then I'm going to share the core. So I also work with other organizations. Can you guys see something up there?
Yeah.
Okay. I made you guys big, so so I can't see it. That is funny. How do I do that? How do I do it so I can see it? I guess I can just come over here. What'd I do? I love you guys so much that I made it so I couldn't. Oh, there it is. All right, good. All right. So I often work with Core Design Studio because they're friends of mine. And I was actually thinking of them because I was just this weekend, I was working with them. They were putting together the book that Imprint does every year. You know, I don't know, any of you guys go, the Imprint has a gala every year. And at the gala, they make a book of like a chapter of the author who's the keynote speaker. This year it's, what's his name? It's Cloud Cuckoo Land. I can't, that's the title. I'm just blanking out his name, but it's a really cool book. And so they make 400 handmade books, and they were going crazy. And I wish I had taught, this was last week, because I could have asked all you guys to go help them, because they look for volunteers, and you were the right people, because they had me and they're like, can you use glue? And I was like, no, give me any other job than gluing. Anyway, but this is them, but this is a project I work with them on. I went around through writers in the schools, and and through my classes that I teach at Grackle, and through my kids' elementary schools, and I went to the HSPVA high school, and all my friends, and I had them all write something about Houston. Sometimes I just found something, you know, I found like a lyric from Beyonce, or from, you know, from this is Joaquin from down the street. This is
wonderful.
Yeah, so we found all these just by talking to different people, and I got all of these, and then Core they asked me to. I mean, this was their big project, the downtown district. There's mine. All these different things, and we kind of were telling a story of Houston over time. And so I do like these little projects with different kinds of organizations as part of Grackle and Grackle. Did this switch over? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I also have worked with I worked with MD Anderson and the Aurora Picture Show a while back, to make this project called Postcards from Space, which you can click on. And in that, I interviewed a whole bunch of different kids, and we made like a long poem. I used a whole bunch of their different words, and we told this crazy space story as a group of people.
Yeah.
I used to work at MD Anderson as a writer at Writers in the School. I wrote an essay about it that got in Best American Essays, actually. It's called You Owe Me. It's my only famous piece of writing, I think. So I do little projects like that. Those are the only two that I have there. I don't know why I didn't put the other ones up there. I work with people coaching, like I do novels. Right now I'm working on a woman who's been writing a novel for a few years, and a little memoir project. I only do two of those at a time, because like I said, I have 80 balls in the air. but I really like to help. I really like to see something come to fruition. And then we have this book club. If anyone here wants to run a book club, I'm looking for a runner of the book club, where we only read, like you could, I told you I like to read from around the world. So this is a book club where we only read books from translation. So they're only books that were written in other languages and translated to English.
Oh, wow.
And so this one was the Vietnamese book. This one was Portuguese, I think.
Spanish.
No, Spanish. Yeah, Spanish. Sorry, that's it. This one, Chinese. We didn't get to it though. We got off that one. This one was from India. Story of a Goat. They're all very different. I try to make them short enough because sometimes books in translation can be long and hard. I try to kind of keep them under 200 pages. But it's really fun. It's a fun book club. So those are the kind of things. Those are the kind of things that I do here. Let me see if I put all the things that I wanted to say. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that for me my life as an artist, I also write, I write poems, I write essays, I write a book. I'm gonna stop sharing. For me, I don't think I could do any of that work if I didn't have like the souls and the ideas of other people, right? Like if I didn't have just the inspiration that I get from my students every day. And when you're a writer, sometimes it's probably the same if you're a visual artist, you feel suddenly you're like, why should anybody listen to my story, right? Like there are so many interesting stories in the world, so many untold stories, that it almost kills you from writing your first sentence because you believe in it. And for me, being a writing teacher, I get to hear all of these stories and I realize the truth that people say, but you don't always believe, which is, we need all the stories. We need all the stories we can get. No one needs to stop telling stories, but everyone needs to start telling stories. Everyone needs to keep, everyone that you see needs to tell their story, and we need to let them mingle, and we need to let them work with each other. And that's what I get to do. I mean, I was really a smart 10-year-old to want to be a creative writing teacher with jars of stuff, because those have really worked out. They really worked out for me. Are there any like things that I didn't say?
So Mia, what do you do in your spare time?
Limited spare time.
I do. I have 2 little kids, and one of them is going to college next year.
Oh, it's a little kid. Okay.
And the other one is 14. That's what I do. And but I love. I'm really happy to be connected to see you all at WiVLA. I've always wanted to go, so I think the nice thing is here now I feel like that I've made a first step into seeing all the faces, and so then it makes it easier to come the second time.
Please do.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have known what your word is. What
my word
is
is today? I was thinking about it. My word is squawk, because it's I don't know if it was on the list, like squawk, squawk. It's because of the it's because of the Grackle, and I called it Grackle and Grackle because I love to watch the Grackles. And I love that they're always talking, and they don't have the most musical voices, but they certainly tell the stories, right? Like they just, things are happening in the world of Grackles. Once I was at that Whole Foods on Waugh, and I was eating like some little, my daughter and my kids, we were eating dinner, how you can get food from the salad bar there. And I saw this Mama Grackle, and she was going and getting food, and she had one leg. She would get food, and she was giving it to her grown Grackle son. Like for some reason, this grown Grackle son couldn't get his own food. And this one-legged mama was feeding her, and I just thought, man, Grackles are awesome birds, right? Like we don't give them any credit because they're like noisy, but I just I love them and I love their stories. So that's my word is the Grackle. Yeah. So but do you guys want to? Oh, Margot, raise your hand.
Yes, I just have a statement. The music writing class I don't know how to explain the wonderful things it's done for my brain. I mean, I feel like it has fired neurons that, you know, haven't been fired since I was in the band in 5th grade. And you know, I would say you really don't need to know music, because Lucas, the teacher, is so good about, he teaches theory about how to create a song, what goes into it, and he presents the information many times in different ways. He's a master teacher, and he uses a lot of examples. And I never thought I would have the confidence to sing, because I have like a terrible singing voice. Well, I probably sing like a grackle, but you know, I feel okay with that. I do not feel embarrassed about singing in front of strangers. And you know, I don't know how this happens, but every class I've ever taken at Grackle and Grackle, the people have been so kind and giving, and just it's always been a wonderful experience. And so it's kind of a side note, I'm submitting to a performance festival, and I thought I need a song at the beginning about how my body sucks. And I thought, so I sent Marcus an email. I said, when is your class? You know, when are you offering that class again? But I have to be careful, because it's kind of a grant and you get money. So I have to not spend money until I'm approved. I think that's how they work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't go around buying all this stuff for your show and then they approve it and you say, oh, by the way, how about paying me for this other? Anyway, I just want to say the same for the storytelling classes. Oh my God, those were just fantastic. I can't say enough about them.
Great testimonial.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I love Lucas too, and I love those. All of the teachers are really good. I mean, they're just. That's what I try to do. I really look for good teachers, who want to teach. You know, there's a lot of good. You know this. Like, there's good writers and there's good writers who are bad teachers, and I want the good writers who like teaching, right? Like, so all you have to do is really kind of like it, and then it all goes together. Not all people like it, so but I find those people. But I promised you a last exercise, and I know that you're crying at the thought of not getting it. So here it is. Like, it's it's one of my favorite exercises. It's from my journaling class, when I teach the journaling class. What I want you to do, this is an imaginary one. This is you need your artist mind. I want you to imagine that you're making a museum, that you are curating a museum. And in the museum, the rooms are filled with different important pieces of your life. And it's one of those museums that it's not just paintings. It's a what do they call, like, it could be anything. It's like
multimedia.
Multimedia, right? So in my museum, I'm from Utah. In one of the rooms, there are the Rocky Mountains. And there's a giant thing of the Rocky Mountains, and you can see all these cars driving along the highway between the town I grew up in, Mighton, and Salt Lake City. And if you put on the headphones that are different colors of the same cars, you can hear the conversations in all of the cars on the mountain. Like, I can hear what people are saying, and they're all the conversations that I ever had on that road between the town I grew up on and the town I moved to when I was like 15. So that's one of the rooms of my life. And then there's another one that is just filled with all of the things that I ever lost. And the stories of new lives that they had without me. And that's just another room. And then there's another one that has like a really cold river. And all you just jump into the cold river and jump out over and over again until you feel better about the world. It's freezing cold. Those are some of just the rooms of because I love cold rivers. It's just like the Museum of Maya. Those are some of the things that will happen in the Museum of Maya. So I want you to invent some rooms from the Museum of June or Mildred or Gwen or Kay or Crystal, yeah, you can share my email. But I want you to invent five rooms for your museum. You might only have time for one right now. But I'm just going to give you 6 minutes to think of some. You don't have to write it all down. If you want to, if you're somebody who like can jot a picture and you know what it means, that's okay. You don't have to write the whole thing. You can just sort of plan it out at this stage. I feel sorry. I talked a little bit too long, so you didn't get as much time to write as I would love for you to have had. But does anyone want to share? You could just raise your hand if you just want to share one of your rooms. Yeah, Marie, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay, so my concept is jumping across space and time. And the first room will be the beginning, will be Cuba. The second room will be Colombia, South America, where I grew up. The next room will be Miami, where we fled from Colombia as political refugees. Then another room will be just my parents. And the last room will be my art.
Ooh, nice.
That's great. Thank you. Does someone else want to share their rooms? Kathy.
Well, I'll just share. I was on the pathway of writing about my hobbies. So the one room is all the books I've read, cataloged and categorized by genre, then by author, with a brief why I like this book note from me inside the cover of every book. And then my next room was my bike rides. But yeah, that's as far as I got.
Oh, those are lovely. Great. Thank you. Anyone else want to share a couple of their rooms? Patty.
You know, I've been doing the storage areas, so I've come across a lot of, you know, blasts from the past. So I was a single parent with 3 kids, and so I definitely have a room for the teenage years, because I found a little note I had written down in 1990 when my 16-year-old daughter got suspended from school for telling her teacher to fuck off. And then telling the principal that I'm too busy to come up to school. So it's going to be a big room.
I love that room.
Yeah.
That idea of notes.
Hey, there's always humor. There'll be humor with every.
Good. Thank you. Anyone else want to tell me one of their rooms?
I'll go.
Jean, and then what? I forgot the G again. The
Gladys.
Gladys. Yeah, Jean and then Gladys.
Okay, so my first room would be a trailer house, and because that's where I lived in until I was 5 years old. So it has cubby holes every place. I have this really liking of cubby holes, and each of the cubby holes has different little things that are the minutia of living in the trailer house, which was things like my father would bring me things like he brought me a soft shell turtle one time that I got to keep for a day, and then we had to release it, and then going to Yellowstone Park and seeing bears and having them come up to the car windows. And then the second room in it would be the Dogwood Trail in East Texas, where you kind of go through the woods and it's like trying to connect the dots. It's like suddenly these trees in amongst bare trees that, you know, leafless trees that are where you go from one to the next one. And the next room I got to was, as a small child, I loved to turn rocks over and see what lived underneath them. And the adults were always telling me, someday you're going to turn over one of those rocks and there's going to be something you don't expect. So I had nightmares about turning over rocks and having things like gigantic, huge snakes come out from under them. So I would have the room of rocks, and that's that.
I want to be there. That is a very cool room. Yeah. Even though it's terrifying. Okay.
Hey, Gladys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A room with a porch with rocking chairs, representing conversations that I had with my mother. I would have a room with various types of old-timey record players with stacks of records indicating the number and the music and how they loved and I love to dance and bring joy to myself and my audiences. I would, which was a kid, and I would have a room with a car. I would have a car represent with a car with just a car but on the road showing the lovely time I spent with my children transporting. I have 3 children to their various activities and how in that car, that's when I began to like to inspire. But I would always say cute things when we're going, and I remember some of those chants. So it was a very joyous time. And then I would make a room with kitchen, representing the time of my mother and I, and preparing meals, particularly Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, that's lovely.
Nice.
I got a car. I got another for my dad because he was a big mechanic. He liked cars, and so the car meant dad and meant because whenever I'm in the car, Daddy was a car man. He loved. I mean, he loved cars. So the car was a special place because he would pick me up. We'd go looking for chickens and hunt. I was the tomboy of the family, so I was.
That's lovely.
I'm sorry,
I love the car.
rode in the car?
I'm sorry.
Who rode in the car? The chickens?
Yeah, he would get. Yeah, well, he would have a truck. He had a Chevy truck, and we'd go get chickens and chicken feed, and come on. You know, I was the fun one. Everybody else was too prissy. I was the fun.
I just want to say, Roseanne, I skipped you earlier because I didn't even see your picture. Did you want to say anything? I feel like that I missed your comment because I didn't have the comments turned on.
I don't think she
She sent a chat message earlier saying that
Right, and I missed it, and I just saw it, so I felt bad. I felt bad that I skipped over her earlier. But Mildred, you had your hand up now.
I did. I'll go real quickly. In the Museum of Mildred, I would have a room filled with 1 million customers lined up to buy my book.
I love it. Now that.
I would have a room. I would have a room where my daughter apologizes for all the awful things she said and done. I'd have a room where my deceased mom and dad are alive one last time to see my finished book. And I would have a room filled with sunshine, blue skies, mountains, and the ocean. And the last room would be my second book finished.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. All right.
Hey, that's lovely.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone. I have I put my email into the comments. Someone asked, I think Lee did ask me to put them, so I put it in there. It's been so charming and lovely just to see you all. And a lot of your names I know, but I haven't ever seen your faces, so it's nice to see faces. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
This was great.
It was really good. I really enjoyed the meeting.
Yeah. I'm
Without
energized.
flying or anything. It was a great meeting. No objection. That's great. Very interactive.
Oh, Roseanne, there you are. Let me just, I'm sorry. Roseanne, do you want to tell me either your sparkle word, I mean, your word of the day? Or do you want to tell us
Gosh,
your
well,
word
now
of-
it's really, my word has changed from what it was to stupid.
Oh,
I just had to click on a thing and there it was. No, my word was actually spongy. Full of holes. Full of holes. Heavy with water, squeezed for lightness, then fat and heavy with water again. Not stable or solid, moving silently over the surface of my day, barely leaving a trace. So sad. So sad.
We're glad you made an appearance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to Anyway, see this you. was so great to hear you all and to see you all.
Yes, love.
Okay. Nighty night.
Wait. I think we have a new member. We have a new member. Crystal? I've lost you.
she's right over here.
Oh, there she is.
Crystal.
Yeah.
I think you're literary and visual. Is it true?
Literary.
Okay.
Oh, good. That's good. Okay.
So
Well,
what do you write? Are you poet? Are you prose, memoir? What is?
Prose, I would would like to write, which is why I joined, hopefully like a series of essays in memoir style. So that's currently what I am working on in between all of the actual busy work and life stuff. So yeah.
That's okay. That's good. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. We're so glad
Yeah.
to see you.
Glad
And-
to be here.
And let's see, Brooke, is this where we can do a little plug in that we're doing something? Because we usually
Yeah, I
do that.
remember now.
Yes.
Yes,
Is it-
now we have a minute to a minute and a half. To, well, if as long as not everybody goes, because I'm not doing math, it's too late for that. But
I
let's
want to
get
go.
going.
I want to go.
Okay, go, Jean.
I have work that's been accepted for the International Watercolor Exhibition at Wash. So, and I checked, I thought maybe, maybe it was kind of a fake thing, but I found out that, no, there are people from all over the place, all over the country in it, and I got accepted. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So I've got something. I've got two pieces at the Praxis Photographic Gallery in Minneapolis. There's two different juried shows going on right now. The Photo Fest is gearing up, and there's a couple of us here that are going to be downtown in March or soon. Donna and I, and I'll let Donna talk about that one. But I'm also in a juried show at Lee College in Baytown. It's the back in the hood, guys. It's the analog photography students at LaSalle School of Art, and the show was juried by Lisa Volpe, who is the curator of photography at the museum.
Wow.
Cool.
Thank you.
Congrats.
This Saturday, I will be conducting my STEP workshop at REI. It's a workshop that you can register for. It is from 1:30 to 4:30. You will get the workbook, which was thanks to WiVLA. I got it. It's a big workbook.
Upside down.
My workbook, and we will have lunch or light refreshments. And as I said, my goal is to really, that's the stress. I've got to do better. I've got to knock it out of the ballpark. So that means I've been practicing and doing a lot of work today. In fact, I took off today because I've been working since 5 o'clock in the morning, kind of what I want the audience to get and how I want this workshop to go. And I thank for those of you who have registered. I truly thank you for your support. I particularly because REI is so, if you don't know who REI is, they are a major corporation that's supporting a local author like me. I cannot believe they're investing that time. So
No. How lucky REI is to have someone like you giving this workshop. Come on now, Gladys May, turn that around.
Thank you. So if you want to register, I did send the link out on our page, but they even went so far as to make this and have it in the store on Saturday. They tabling and it's all on their website. It's just crazy at the level. So I don't want to disappoint them by not having an audience. So if you're able to come out on Saturday, if you can't afford the price, let me know what you can. The workbook, it cost me to print the workbook, and Melanie knows that. She knows.
I got my workbook.
Yeah. So thank y'all. Thank you. That's it. So please come out if you have any questions. Just glad you can look me up. I'm on the member thing, and you can call me, and I'll answer my phone. Thank you.
I'll go
Donna.
up.
I'm making an
Sorry.
Go ahead, Shirley.
Okay. Thank you. Susan Salter, Brenda Bowman, and I are 3 artists who will be have our art hanging in the Fort Bend Museum, honoring Women's History Month. And we each are featuring art honoring 8 women. Each of us have chosen 8 women that we either have been influenced by and never met, or they're women that we have had in our lives. And we are doing art dedicated to them. So the show is actually going to be hanging from March 1st through April 12th. But the month of March is Women's History Month. So Fort Bend Museum in Richmond, Texas.
Awesome.
And the
So,
reception is March the 6th at the Fort Bend History Museum.
At
So we
5:30.
look for anyone that would like to come out for that.
And you can, if you go to Richmond, you can go at 5:30, see the show, and then go dine at some little historic restaurant.
Nah.
so I have, am I on?
Yes.
I have,
Yes.
I booked my first keynote speech in front of a big audience at a church, and it's for Women's History Month, and it's a topic about my book.
Oh,
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and my book is now in my hometown library. It is in the
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, it's cataloged and ready to be checked out. And
Oh,
I will be in Houston on 4/23 at the Deluxe Theater. And there it's a room, Gladys, it's a room for 200 people, and I sure would hate for it to be empty.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So you said 4/23 or 4/13?
4/23. 4/13 is how did you know 4/13?
Because you sent out an invite.
Oh, it is the 13th. I'm sorry. The 20, no, the 25th. I'm actually at the library in my hometown.
Oh, I was
There. But 4/13, yes. 4/13 at the Deluxe. And I did send out save the dates, and I will send more.
All right.
And I have two. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Crystal, I am a memoir kind of person, so I'm happy for you to reach out if you'd like. I am happy to help you.
Absolutely.
I will stick my website in the chat.
Now, Margo.
Now I have 2 videos in the Real Poetry Film Festival, the first weekend in April. And one of the music in one of the videos was created in Lucas's class.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Donna
jump in
had
there,
it going on.
Donna. Sorry, Donna's had her hand up for about 10 minutes, so
Oh, no.
I'm trying to make
I
sure
was
she jumps in.
Following up on what Melody was saying, it's Christ Church Cathedral. I think it's also called the Cloisters.
Cloisters Gallery.
Yeah, a gallery. And so this is for Photo Fest, and it is a group that we belong to, a photography group. And the theme is home, I believe, isn't that? The whole series, I mean, everything really from this Photo Fest is going to be that way. But that, that will be happening in March. We hang it early March, and then I don't have my calendar in front of me, so I don't know when the opening is, but we can get that in the next newsletter maybe.
I should do what I'm telling everybody else to do. I'll put it on the WiVLA calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, because each of us is able to add something to the WiVLA calendar. So everyone that's got a reception or an event, head over to the website and add an event.
Add that. There you go.
Member events come out as a
Reminder.
gold
Yeah.
color on the calendar. So let's
Great.
paper it in gold.
Okay. Good deal. Well, tell us what day to meet you at the Cloisters for lunch and see the Photo Fest show. And
Well,
slip on down there.
Like
I'm not, but that's something that we need to sync some calendars with, then do that.
Yeah,
That would be
because
a
we
lot.
did that a few times when when WiVLA had an exhibition there. We picked a couple of days and had people said, "Hey, we're going to be there at lunchtime if anyone could join us," and it was fun.
Okay.
Our reception is going to be at 5:30 on March 7th.
And
which 2nd or 7th?
7, lucky 7.
There you go. Okay.
And at that reception, the garage that goes with the church will be open, and it should be free to get out.
You have to pay to get in, but it's free to get in.
Well, no,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like the Hotel California.
It should be. So yeah.
I'll say real quickly that I'm hosting a writing and art retreat at Camp Allen. You'll see that in the next newsletter. I haven't added it to the calendar yet. I hate that it competes with the 13th with Mildred because I can't go and I really want to go to see Mildred. But it's a Friday night to Sunday morning retreat. There'll probably be about 20 people there. And I do writing prompts and art prompts in facilitated sessions, just 3 facilitated sessions, and the rest is self-guided. There's lots of prompts and art supplies everywhere in the lodges, but lots of space to rejuvenate and not, I overprogrammed it the first year, and then I've been dialing it back every year to give more space for rest. So you'll see more about that. It's April 12th through the 14th.
We're busy.
We're busy. That's great.
Okay.
One thing I
Anybody
forgot to
else?
say to you all is that for you people who do want to have some kind of workshop, like if we're not having a class here, I like to keep the space open for people. As long as it's not like some kind of hog of energy or something. I don't even charge. I just, if you have a little thing that you want to do in the little studio, you're welcome to.
We appreciated your hospitality. Thank you.
That's very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Maya.
Thanks so much, Maya.
good.
This has been wonderful.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you all.
And yeah, you're a member for a year, so an honorary
Okay.
member. So
Okay.
and then when you renew, you'll be a member longer.
Yeah. There should be a lifetime membership option that just.
Yeah, I was gonna
Do they
say.
have that now?
There is.
Okay.
Mildred is a lifetime member, actually.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, good.
I am.
For speakers, we have a special GoBo offer. You get one free and then you gotta buy it after that. So
Okay.
so-
Yeah.
GoBo. Okay.
Go, Bo. That's good.
Yeah.
get one, then you gotta buy one. Okay.
Oh, go bye. Okay.
All right, guys.
All
Good to see
right.
everybody.
Good to see everybody. Great meeting.
Bye. Great
Bye-bye.
meeting.
Leaving. Ah.